Shalom, Grand Rising, Osio, Halito. Welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. I'm your brother Daniela, aka the Copper Aboriginal. I give all praises to the Most High and salute to you brothers and sisters out there. In this video, I'm going to be talking about various things. Just talking about various things. Don't worry, part 2 to the heathens being dismayed is going to come. Probably this weekend. My weekend. My weekend starts on. So essentially, Thursday is my Fridays, Saturdays are my Sundays, and Thursdays are my Fridays are my Saturdays, and my Saturdays are Sundays, right? So, that's essentially how my week is. And sorry, I had to adjust that real quick because I know. Well, it really doesn't even matter because it's dark. You really can't see me all like that. But I'm up at 3 something in the morning. So I have pretty early starts to my day. Right now, I believe, what time is it? Actually, it's about to be 7 o'clock. So it's kind of getting up there, in time. Sorry, I'm up here paying attention to traffic. Make sure that I ain't going the wrong way. Anyways, I kind of had the feeling that was going to happen. Half falling over. Anyways, I adjusted it to where it won't fall over. Probably won't be able to see me all like that, but like I said, you can barely see me anyways. That's how early it is. It's like 6:40 something right now. And usually around 7, I want to say around 7:30 is when the sun is like clearly over the horizon here in Ohio. But like around 7 is when the sun starts to rise here. The sky goes from black to bluish, to that purple, orange, red, what have you. But it was crazy because last night we had a thunderstorm. We had this I'm telling you guys, man, like I said in another video, the weather has just been so strange. It's been so strange, the weather. And I know I mentioned in another video, but it has. I mean, it really has. It's just been very strange. And yesterday, there were tornadoes that were going through other parts of the country. I believe Indiana was the closest to us that had a tornado. Maybe Indiana, I'm not sure. It was probably I can't remember if it was Indiana or like Tennessee or something like that. But anyway, there were a few tornadoes over the country just in the past few days. I mean, hell, actually over the past month, there has been a series of tornadoes all over the country. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy how the weather is. And like Big Judah shared in the video that he shared the other day, it's following the path of these storms are following the solar eclipse, the same path the solar eclipse is supposed to take. I mentioned that a few weeks ago. If you paid attention to the tornadoes and the storms, you noticed that they were going on the same path as the solar eclipse. So you have to ask yourself, is the solar eclipse causing these storms to happen? Because like I said, these storms are unprecedented. Like we've never seen storms like this before. I mean, sure, the weather has been odd for the past few years, but it's really amping up. I've never seen so many tornadoes and stuff like this during spring here, just in the United States. Like, this is not tornado season. Tornado season is usually summer going into fall. It's not usually spring. You know, it's not usually late winter, spring. I mean, we literally have tornadoes. We had tornadoes here in Ohio in late winter. Like, that don't happen. We usually get snow. We usually get nothing but snow up until February. At least when I was a child. I mean, up until March. Sorry, I said up until February. Up until March, we would get snow until mid-March. No, we were having tornadoes this year. We were having tornadoes in late winter, in February, and in March we're having tornadoes. Sorry about that. It just keeps falling over. I keep trying to move this damn thing back, but for some reason it just keeps pushing itself forward. I don't know why. Instead of moving backwards, it keeps moving forward. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, tornadoes, like, that's unheard of. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, let me try to adjust this just a little bit better. So yeah, like I said, you know, we're having tornadoes. Like, that's unheard of during winter. You know, and yesterday it was raining, of course. Of course, I made that video yesterday telling you guys about the crazy storm that came over us. It was like tornado storms. It was actually a tornado somewhere, but not where I was, right? And it just came through, whipped through, right? Real heavy, right? So later on that day, we had several more, you know, rain showers and storms, right, that came through. Nothing as severe as what happened that morning, right? So I'm at home, my wife and my son, we're out in the back. We're in my wife's all-season tent, right? It's like this clear tent. We can just sit out on the deck and just, you know, watch the rain, right? So of course the lightning and the thundering starts, it comes in. It starts raining. Now the rain was hard rain, like it was heavy rain, but it wasn't like super heavy rain. It wasn't like tornado or hurricane type of rain, right? It was just heavy rain. It was raining hard. And then I want to say probably about 10 minutes after I get into bed, right? So about 10 minutes after I get into bed, I look outside and I'm like, why is it so bright outside? Why is the sky so bright and yellow? So anyways, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to sleep. So then my wife, she comes into the room. She's like, hey, are you asleep? I'm like, no. She's like, hey, you see what's going on outside? I'm like, yeah, it's looking weird out there. She's like, yeah, it's like this bright, weird yellow color. So we go to the back window and we're out there looking. And I mean, it's just weird. I mean, extremely weird how the weather is. I mean, it is like a yellow greenish color. A yellow greenish color outside. And, I mean, it was like a yellow greenish with like a slight brown tint to it. It was weird. I can't even explain it, but it just looked weird. It looked like almost like a sandstorm with like just a yellow sandstorm. It was weird looking. But then probably about like, I want to say 15 minutes after that, because it was yellow for like about 30 minutes, and then 15 minutes after I had laid down, it got dark again. So it went from dark to yellow, greenish, brown color, bright, like real bright, like almost like a fluorescent, or I don't want to say like fluorescent, but almost like a yellow safety vest, you know, like the yellow greenish color. That's the color it was. But like I said, it had like a brown, like a slight brown tint to it. It was weird, very weird. I tried to capture it on my video, on my phone, but the color of my phone is off. Like, it's not the color it should be, right? So, yeah, I tried to record it, but it wasn't yellow enough. When when I played the video back, it still wasn't yellow. I was like, okay, yeah, there ain't no point in showing the phone. I mean, the sky being yellow and it's not even yellow, right? So, anyways, you know, that happened, and it was just strange, man. And I'm telling you, like, we're definitely in the end times, and you know, these Gentiles, they definitely have a reason to be worried. They do. I mean, the retribution of the Most High's people is drawing nigh. The retribution of the Most High's return, well, him sending back Hamashiach, right, Christ, is drawing nigh. The Most High setting the true scales of justice on this earth is drawing nigh, right? That's what people are afraid of. You know, people who want to see this society continue on, those are the people, the people who are used to getting benefits from this society, used to having the privilege in this society, are the only ones who are crying about this place falling apart. They're the only ones. No one else. You know, as like I said in, you know, the book of Revelations, where they see, you know, the whore of Babylon falling, you know, those who did business with her, those who drunk of her cup and, you know, enjoyed the fruits of the whore of Babylon, they are the ones who are going to be like, damn, that place used to be amazing, you know. And then the inhabitants are going to be the ones that are going to be, they're going to be the sorrowful ones, not us who are against this society. Us who are against the society, we're not going to be crying for it. Those who are truly seeking after the Most High's heart, we're not for this society. This society is so wicked, so evil. Why would we ever cry for this place? Anybody who calls himself a prophet, like Old Girl, and all these other fake ass wannabes, these Christians out here, and I'm not talking about all Christians or all people who call themselves Christians. I'm talking about these frauds, man. Those are the ones who are crying. They aren't with the Most High. The Most High ain't dealing with them. And I know I sound like one of them brothers from the camps, like, the Most High ain't dealing with you. You know, but the Most High ain't dealing with them. He's not. Because the Most High is going to want you to separate from this place. Like, we know that, of course, if you're in this society, you can't fully separate from it. But that's going to make you, oh shit, look, DLT got somebody pulled over out here. But being, you know, a person who seeks after the Most High's heart, you're going to want to separate from the society. And being locked into society in the rat race of, you know, trying to make things happen, trying to stay afloat, you know what I'm saying? And even if you're not struggling to stay afloat, just look at all the atrocities around you. If you're truly striving after the heart of the Most High, you know that there are, you know, there are, how can I say, like, obstacles that keep us from our full potential, essentially, you know, of serving the Most High. And if we are separated from this society, we have more time to focus on the Most High. Like I said, you know, in the video that I made the other day, man, I felt more fulfilled doing my garden. I felt more fulfilled busting my ass, sweating, getting dirty, working on my garden than I do at my job. And mind you, I make good money, right? I make good money. But I feel more fulfilled, like, clearly, you know, I own a large four-bedroom house with a huge yard in the front and the back, right? Two-car garage, all that stuff, finished basement, what have you, right? I have that, have cars, you know, wife, kid, all that stuff, right? And my job allows me, you know, the jobs I've had over the past few years, you know, being a truck driver and all that stuff, allows me to, you know, maintain that lifestyle, you know, go on trips, go on vacations, stuff like that, buy things, what have you. But I don't feel as fulfilled in all that I've accomplished in this society as I do with growing my own food, man. Working in my own garden, growing my own stuff. Like, it's crazy. Like, I know people are like, what? What do you mean? Like, when you get out there and you actually do it, man, I'm telling you, you feel more fulfilled doing that stuff. You know? And I can't wait because I want to say maybe like another week or two, my plants should be ready to be transplanted into the garden bed. I'm trying to give my plants enough time to to get of size. But honestly, I feel like some of my plants are probably ready to go right now. Because cucumbers, them things, like, they sprout up so fast. They're like beans, man. Like, they sprout up so quick. And this is actually going to be my first year growing a cucumber. Because previous years, and I know this has turned into a gardening video, but like I said, we talk about various things. But previous years, I've grown watermelon, I've grown tomatoes, I've grown cabbage. What else? Swiss chard. What else have we grown? Anyways, the only thing that we have grown to maturity are tomatoes, and we got Swiss chard too. I know Swiss chard can get large, like they can get like a foot to about 2 feet long and about like a half a foot wide if you let them grow, keep growing. Mine's got about, I want to say maybe about 6 inches long, about 6-7 inches long, and only about 2 inches wide. So they grew to the age to where you can eat them. But they didn't grow as big as they could have, and that's because they were confined to a small planter. This time we got a big old, we got, like I said before, we have 4 8x4 planters. I mean, not planters, sorry, garden beds, right? So that's what we're going to be putting our stuff in this time. And I'm kind of in a conundrum right now. You know, I'm learning, like I said, you know, this is my, I want to say, fourth year growing, you know, growing in a garden and stuff, right? Well, previous years, we grew out of aquarium, a terrarium, and planters, right? And like I said, my mom, she has a garden. She has, I think, like 1 or 2 garden beds. And I used to help her years ago, but I'm not like super experienced. Every year I'm learning, right? I'm learning something new. And this year was the first year that I used peat pots. This will be the first and the last year that I will use peat pots. Next year I'm just going to use plastic containers, because from what I've learned is that peat pots, what drew me to peat pots, this dude is about to drive off the road, man. He must be on his phone. But what drew me to peat pots was that they're allegedly biodegradable, which they are. But I heard that they can take a while to decompose. But the thing is that there's a few issues with the peat pots, and that is that I heard that, you know, they can grow mold. I haven't had mold in mine yet. And it's funny because the only thing that I have mold in is this damn Pyrex Pyrex, measuring cup that I use to pour all my seeds in soil in when my son got a hold to some of my plants, right? So I had to scoop them and put them in there. And essentially, whenever something sprouts out, I will put it into its own little pot. But yeah, I'm not going to use peat pots anymore because they can grow mold, and also they're just more difficult to work with. I'm hoping that when I transplant my stuff that I can transplant them successfully, because yesterday one of my cucumbers that my son got into, my 2-year-old son got into, he knocked over and there wasn't that much soil in there, but there was a plant that was sprouting, right? A cucumber plant that's sprouting. So I was like, okay, when it gets a little bit bigger, I should have did it as soon as I saw it sprouting. But I was like, when it gets a little bit bigger, I'm gonna put it in. Here we go again. I'm gonna put it into, more soil. I'm gonna put more soil in there and put it up a little bit higher. Well, I didn't get around to doing that until yesterday, and when I was doing that, I noticed that the roots were connected to the peat pot. And I'm like, oh man, this is gonna suck, because, and I kind of had a feeling that will happen, because I'm like, with it being biodegradable, the plants are gonna probably recognize that as soil. They're probably gonna think it's something they can attach to. So I was like, damn. So I had to carefully detach the roots from the peat pot, and I'm like, damn. What I had planned to do originally was to take them out of the peat pots and put them into the ground, so because those peat pots can be restrictive. So what I may end up doing, because I was going to separate the plants, because you know how you put like 2 to 3 seeds in each planter, right, or each pot. Well, in a lot of mines, I have multiple plants growing out of them now. So I'm like, okay, what I wanted to do was to get them out and then separate them, try to separate them if I can, but that's probably not going to happen. So what I read is what you can do is, instead of fully taking them out of the peat pots and accidentally, destroying the roots and killing the plant, what you can do is kind of like peel the layers off, try to peel the layers off. Because what the plants try to do, they really try to attach to the bottom of the pot rather than to the sides. So peel the sides off towards the bottom and then put them in the ground. But also, say if you don't want multiple plants competing for the same resources, what you can do is just snip, kill maybe 2 of the plants and have them, and then just transplant it into the soil. But me personally, what I want to try to do, what I'm going to test and just do this year, because it's a learning experience, and I'm sure I'm going to have some successful harvest, because last year I had a similar problem where I had multiple plants growing out of the same area, and they did pretty well. Mind you, they were confined to a little terrarium, so now they are in, an 8x4 garden beds where they have more than enough space to thrive, you know what I'm saying? So I'm probably not going to kill any plants, because what happened last year is that the plants that weren't meant to survive, they just didn't survive, and the stronger plants took over. So I was like, well, ain't no point in killing when a plant will do it itself, so that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, man, I got a lot of my plants growing right now. The tomatoes are sprouting up well. The cucumbers were the first ones to really sprout up. They're doing very well. I got probably about 8 cucumbers, 8 to 10 cucumbers. I think I got 8 tomato plants. I have probably about 10 watermelon plants. A few of those have sprouted. My cantaloupe have not. I don't think maybe my cantaloupe has sprouted. I'm not sure. I think my cantaloupe are giving me issues, but what I've noticed last time is that the cantaloupes always seem to take long to grow. What else we got? We got our bean plants growing up. Lettuce, they're going hard. Our Swiss chard is going hard. Our cabbage also, they're starting to sprout up. They've been sprouted up. They're going hard also. We got several other vegetables and plants that are sprouting up and doing pretty well. Sorry, it went over a bump, so I was just making sure the phone didn't fall. So yeah, we got a lot of plants that are actually sprouting up, doing well. I can't wait to transplant them. I know some people put them in bigger cups until then, but since it's only going to be like a week or two before we transplant them, I feel like putting them into a bigger pot is kind of unnecessary right now. And then that could cause some damage, to the roots. So I'm just like, they can just wait another week or so. It's not like it's going to hinder the plant's growth because the plants, they adjust to their surroundings. So while they're in that cup, yeah, they're probably not going to grow as fast as they could, at that point. But once I transplant them into the yard, into the planters, they'll start, picking up in speed and growing. So I can't wait to see how that goes. We put soil in. Oh yeah, we got carrots too. Carrots are growing pretty well too. But we got all the soil in. We got all the compost, all the soil, all that stuff mixed in. So we have, we actually got manure, compost, horse manure compost for free from this horse ranch or whatever, and they compost their stuff. Their stuff is like 7 months old. Now we did get some fresher manure with older manure also. The thing is that we're, like I said, we're inexperienced. We're not as experienced, especially working with manure and stuff. So we kind of got some fresher stuff, and we know that you don't want to put your plants in fresh manure. But most of the manure, from what I've been told, is like several months old. The only thing that kind of has me worried about the manure is the hay, which they've been feeding their horses, because I asked them, I was like, what type of hay have you been feeding your horse? It hasn't been sprayed with Rayzon, and they said they're not sure, but they said that they have been, essentially, people have been coming by for years, using their stuff to grow, vegetable gardens and stuff, and haven't had any issues. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Hopefully we don't have any issues growing with ours, but also we mixed in topsoil, and stuff like that to kind of thin it out, and because we want the manure to bring that nutrients, but we don't want it to be too overpowering for our plants and stuff. So we mixed topsoil in there also to to mix it around and even balance things out, right? So yeah, essentially that's all I gotta say. I really don't have much more to say. Another celebrity died just a few days ago. I don't know if you guys know of Casey Benjamin, but he was a famous saxophonist, and he did like a collaboration, I believe, with Beyonce, but he mostly does jazz music. And the only reason why I know about him is because I don't listen to jazz as much as I used to, but I used to listen to jazz a lot. So yeah, I found out he died. He was only 45 years old. Died suddenly, and the thing is that it wasn't that big of a bump. He was only 45 years old. 45 years old, young. 45 years old, and the thing is that they're not disclosing how he died. He died on the 30th, which was about 4 days ago, a little over 4 days ago. It does not take 4 days for them to figure out what killed a person, unless they're trying to hide it and come up with a cover story why he died. See, the thing is, people are still dying. I still have people on my friends, in my friends list, who have family members and friends who are still just dying young. One of my friends, one of my old co-workers, her cousin died recently. Her cousin was like in her late 20s, early 30s, pregnant, and died suddenly. It's a shame, man. Up here taking this this snake venom, as our sister Deborah Young calls it. Taking this snake venom, don't know what the hell is up in it. You have people like me many people out there saying, hey, do not take this. This drug is experimental. It is, they did experiments and it's causing people to die. It's causing animals to die. Do not take this stuff. And people still took it anyways to keep their jobs. Keep their jobs so that they can stay in society. And then they find out shortly later, they're still getting the sickness. They took multiple of those damn snake venoms and they're still getting sick, right? And it's like, well, what's the point of that? Wow, the sky is red in this one particular area. Mind you, the sun is behind me, yet up here it's red as if the sun is up there. Wow, it's crazy. Like literally, it's like I would turn the camera around, but I don't want to mess with the phone while I'm driving. But yeah, wow, that's crazy. But anyways, you find out that it doesn't work. And then later on, you start seeing people dying from it. And then they admit that it caused cardiomyelitis. Cardiomyelitis. I think that's what it is. And it can cause all these other deadly conditions, right? And it's like, she died. She was young, good health, everything, pregnant. And it took both of them out. Just like this brother, 45 years old. And from what I seen, he looked like he was in good health. Dead. And they're not telling us how this man died. I had a friend, a real good friend of mine, a high school friend of mine, who was a football player on the same team. He moved down to Florida last year. He took snake venom and he died. And it's so funny because the families, they're just like these damn celebrities, man. They're just like the family of these celebrities. They don't want to say what killed them. But I found out through a third party how he died. He died of a heart attack. He died of a heart attack. And this man was only like 34 years old. Great shape. Great shape. He played football in college. He even, he didn't play can't speak. He didn't play pros, but he was like, he did practice with the pros and stuff like that, and he was a coach of a football team of his own. And died. I was telling people, man, I was warning people, I was telling people, man. And I've seen many people die. Like literally people on my Facebook who died, people who had family members who died, and people are still dying, but they're just not publicizing it like how they were a year or two ago. They're not publicizing it. But like I said with this celebrity, why does it need to take more than 2 days for them to get your autopsy results? Because that usually, even for an average person, they have your autopsy result in 48 hours. But yet, it's taking them